Hey everyone, it's Alison Heikkila. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to make a card with a monoprint that I made some time ago and this Trim a Tree Colorize set from Sizzix and Tim Holtz. I don't have a lot of time to craft today, but I wanted to do something, so it was a perfect opportunity for me to go through my stash of monoprints. I like to make a whole bunch of them in one session so that later on when I'm kind of short on time, or if I'm not really super inspired, I can kind of go through them and see where they take me. So I found this one. This was done with some snowflake stamps from Stampendous. I don't love this print, but I think what we're going to wind up doing with it, it will make me love it. The snowflakes are pretty subtle, but you can see them, and I think it's going to work out really well with this tree. We're going to go in a different kind of direction than what you see here. We're not going to trim it. We're going to just make a cool tree. But first we need to cut this down because it's too big at the moment. Now I wanted you to see how large the tree is with a card base. So this is an A2 size card. This tree is large. So if I'm working on an A2 size card and I want the whole tree, I wouldn't be able to get the stump or the star on it. So you'd need to work bigger. But for this case, I'm not making it a quote Christmas tree. I'm just making it a tree. So this could be a holiday card, or it could be a winter birthday card, or maybe even a New Year's card. So we're going to wind up cutting off some of the excess, but I'm fine with that. It's okay. It makes it seem as though the scene is bigger than the card. There's more things happening. So I'm okay with that. So to trim this down, now normally what I do is I use this frame that my son 3D printed for me. It's not perfect. He needs to make me a new one. But the interior is 4 by 5.25, which is typically what I put on a card base. You can't tell right now, but there is a bit of a border around it underneath. But I know that the interior here is 4 by 5.25. But since this tree is so big, I don't think that I want to have a border today. I know it's shocking to some of you that I'm not going to have a border, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this to kind of get an idea of what area I want. I don't really think I want this upper piece, even though I happen to really like it. I just don't want to overdo the grunge on this tree. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of do something like that. So we'll wind up losing the sides, losing the top, and a bit of the bottom, and that's okay. So I'm going to get my trimmer, move these trees out of the way. There are a lot of pieces for this tree. I did not realize there were so many pieces. So I'm really excited to see how it's going to come together with the paper that I've chosen. I'm going to cut this off here. And now I'm going to make this 4.25. And then we're going to chop this off here at the bottom. I think I might cut a little bit. Nah, we'll leave it there. You can always use this later. These are actually really nice like this. If you're doing a card that has paper strips on it, you might want to mount it on some cardstock so that it's not so thin. But they are really pretty. Just like that. Okay. So that's going to fit right on top of my card, just like this. And I'm going to glue that now so that that dries. Okay, I put glue on the back here. Now, I tend to monoprint with copy paper, so you can see how floppy this is. And sometimes, depending on how much glue I use or what kind of glue, it warps. And I don't like that. So what I do is I take, this is a Pampered Chef Pam scraper, to like clean the stones. You can use a credit card, you can use a gift card, but I kind of use it like a squeegee. And I kind of just do one of these from the center out. You can work from the top to the bottom or whatever. You'll wind up squishing some glue out, but that's not the end of the world. You would want to wipe it on your fingers or paper towel so that you don't get it on the top. But by doing this, this creates, or I should say prevents, you from having that warping happen. So it's going to lay nice and flat. Just make sure you reopen your card so that you don't accidentally glue it shut in case any of the glue squishes out. But now this is going to lay flat. There's not going to be any warping, and it's going to look fantastic. So that's a good trick. Just grab one of these babies, or like I said, a an old gift card, and you can do the same thing. I've got my card base drying off to the side with a weighted block on it so that it does stay nice and flat. And here are my tree pieces. The rest of these pieces we're not going to use today. So I decided I wanted to go with a cream colored tree. I thought it would be really cool. There is a sample on the Sizzix website for the Trim a Tree die set, and it is a beautiful card. I'm sorry, I don't know who did it. I forget. But it was done with creams and browns, and I was like, that's what we're going to do for this card. I think it's going to look really cool. You could go with green if you want to, but I wanted to do this kind of cream-colored tree. So, looking at the picture here, the darkest shade of green is layer 2, and there's a lighter shade of green for layer 1. So I'm going to kind of go with that. I'm going to use this for layer 1, and all of these dies are labeled, so it says green 1 because they're assuming you're going to make a green tree. You don't have to make a green tree. You can make it pink if you want to, but we're going to go with cream. But you use this to just be your guide as to what needs to go where. So my tree is going to be here. We're going to cut this out, and then I will run all of these pieces through my die cut machine once I have them all sorted. Okay, so this is going to be layer 2. Again, you could see that it says green 2. I'm going to trim this out. These papers are very old. A lot of them are from a company called Prism that isn't in business anymore, unfortunately. But use what you have. You could even use pattern paper. I might do that at some point, just not today, because I don't have the time. I think that we're going to go with... Let's see. Let's take a look at the guide. So the third layer is kind of a mid-tone green. So yeah, we'll go with this one. No, you know what? I don't want to. We're going to go with this one. We're going to go with that. That's going to be 3. This is going to be my 4. Just play around, you guys. If you don't like how you've chosen a color, just change it. And then this is going to be my 5. Oh, I need another one. I thought I had one. Maybe we'll just repeat one. We'll repeat one. Which one? Let's repeat this guy. This will be my 6. All right, so now I'm going to cut all of these out, and we'll see what we wind up with. Here are all of the trees cut out, and I'm so excited because I think it's going to look really cool. So I have a Sizzix switch machine, and I was able to cut all of these trees in one pass because the plate that the switch comes with is so large that you can fit all of these trees on there, which is really exciting. Look at how cool this looks so far. Okay, so I am going to get to gluing this, and then we might add a little ink. I'm not really sure yet. I think that I want to ink it after everything is adhered. Usually I would do it beforehand so that each layer has its own individual inking, but I think that I want to do it all at once. So I'm going to glue these, and then we'll decide if we're going to ink. I have let our tree dry for a little while, and now we can take a look at how it's going to be on here. Oh, look at that. See, it really picks up that that some of the paint that I used was not actually white, but cream. And I think it really looks nice. That's cool. All right, so now we need a sentiment. I don't want to glue this on just yet because the sentiment may make us move something, but let's take a look. I have my binder. My friend Amy from Amy's Wares, I'm sure many of you follow her, kind of introduced this idea to me, and I'm sure many of you. And I keep a lot of things in here. Sentiments, colored images, all sorts of stuff. So I think, oh, this Peace and Joy might look nice. Hold on, let's see. This could be cute. I don't know if I love the brown. I think it's a little dark. Maybe we can use this one. Not enough contrast. Let's try this, which is also dark, but it might work. Yeah, I don't mind that because it's blue. Let's see if we find anything else. So this is another great thing to do if, as I mentioned earlier, if you don't have a lot of inspiration, you're not sure what direction you're going with things, but you want to make something. Making sentiments is a great thing to do, just like monoprinting. It's good because you can, I don't want to use Merry and Bright, get a lot done, and then it makes things easier later when you want to actually sit down and create and finish something. None of these are going to work. Okay, I think that we might go with that Peace and Joy. I have some new dies that I need to really do this with, and I need to fill in some of the ones that I've been using. I think we're going to go with that. I do like that. Peace and Joy is good. Yeah, I do need to make some of these with cream cardstock, because I think that would be nice as well. And really, I don't even want to ink on the tree. I think it looks nice like this. So we're going to adhere this and maybe add a little bit of bling and call it a day. I have some Winter Wonderland card bling from A Colorful Life Designs. I don't know which color I want to use yet, which is why picking this blend is perfect, because there's so many options in it, as opposed to pulling out like 7 different bags. So, take a look at how pretty this is. Look at all those colors. I love that. This is such a great mix for a shaker card, but we're not doing a shaker today. So, let's see. I'm kind of drawn to this like Aurora Borealis. Nope, not going to work. It's too much for this card. Oh, I think that's pretty. That's subtle. I kind of like that. Let's see. Do I have a little guy of that in here? Perhaps. That one's white. I don't mind that either. We could do a mix of things. That could work. Maybe then I'll change this one out. That's pretty interesting. I kind of like that. Yeah, because it kind of works with the tree situation that we have with all of the different colors. I don't think that I want 3 here, though. I might just do 2. Yeah, 2 it is. I think I want to switch these positions. Oh, we got a spare here. Hold on. Yeah, I like this positioning better. Okay, so now we're going to adhere these. I've got my On Point glue. This is from Imagine. And I am going to hold my glue in my right hand, hold my pokey tool also in my right hand. It's a little easier to pick up the pokey tool first because it's kind of behind the glue. And then I've got my jewel picker in my left hand. I am right-handed, so this works for me. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up my sequin with my jewel picker, apply glue, push this down, and use the pokey tool to release it from the jewel picker, because sometimes they don't like to come off. Sometimes they come off easily, but a lot of times they don't. It's just easier for me to have the pokey tool at the ready so that I don't have to fuss with it. There we go. I like to tap this down when I'm done with it because it kind of releases the glue back into the bottle, gets it out of the nozzle a little bit. Okay, guys. We got a quickie card done today. I think it came out really pretty. Oh, I got to trim this off. We're not done. You can leave it if you want to. You just need to use a bigger envelope so that this doesn't get bent or anything, but I'm gonna trim it. That's what I said I was gonna do before. Okay. And it's not gonna be a whole lot. Just a little bit. But again, it gives you the appearance that there's more to the scene because it's been trimmed off. Like it feels bigger. The world is bigger than what's here, right? Okay. Now we're done. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Break out something that you made a long time ago and use it on a card. Be it a monoprint or ink smush or something foiled, whatever. Just break it out and start using it. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I will be back very soon with another card. I will see you all next time. Be well. Stay safe. Peace out.